Hello everyone, this will be a quick guide on how to grind Star's End. The recommended EP for this spot is 1920, which is actually the same EP required for Zephyrus because you don't have the Idana crystal. The mobs on this spot inflict a lot of stun, and it's basically required for you to run resists. These were the crystals that I was running. The Idana crystal is just for the extra DR, as these mobs actually hit harder than Zephyrus. As for Lightstone sets, as always, if you don't meet the caps, which you probably don't, you'll need a demi-human damage set. Otherwise, if you do meet the caps, you can go Vicious Shadow or Deathblow depending on what your class needs. Now, as for the spot mechanics, this spot is a mix between old Star's End and Darkseekers. You have basically a field spot that summons a lot of waves. The difference between grinding inside or outside Marnie Realm is honestly negligible. When finding a rotation, you want one that has at the very least 5 rocks, which basically indicate a pack. The grind loop is very simple. You walk up to a pack, and you don't hit the mobs. You instead kill the blackstone rock that will be in the middle of the pack. Once you do, the mobs will be consumed by the blackstone, and a huge wave of squishy mobs will spawn around it. At the same time, you'll notice there's something charging up in the middle. That's because after 5 to 10 seconds, the mobs that were absorbed will reappear and be knocked down into the ground. You can tell them apart because they'll have a white title above their name bar saying Star Debris. These mobs only take big damage while they are on the ground. If they get up, they'll be extremely tanky, and I would recommend going to the next pack. Either way, you need to kill these mobs while they're on the ground, and once you kill one, it will explode and do damage around itself, which will usually cause a chain reaction that will basically kill all of the mobs that got spawned there. After that, you just move on to the next pack. There is also a boss that sometimes spawns that is basically just a bigger version of the fat staff guys. When you see it spawn, I recommend you just move on and kill it on the next time you pass by. Now, as for a strategy while grinding this spot, right now the most effective way seems to be to leave right after the chain explosion occurs. You'll notice that will cause a lot of mobs to stay alive and follow you to the next pack. That's fine. The strategy is to kill the rock and then turn around and go kill the mobs that are still walking from the previous pack. Then, when the Star Debris mobs spawn, you turn around and go kill them. This method will also require you to manually loot some of the trash, so just a heads up for that. Finally, I would like to point out that there is a chance that when you kill the rock, the Star Debris mobs that was supposed to appear just get one shot instead. This won't really change the way you grind the spots, but just a heads up because it will cause the next pack to sometimes not have respawned yet. Now, as for the results, you are looking probably around 30k aggros used per hour and 19 to 20k trash if you do with the caps. This will result roughly in a baseline of 3.2 bill, which is actually a bit lower than Zephyrus. However, we don't really know about the RNG chance of the items right now, which will massively boost the amount of money you make. This is a very RNG heavy spot because there's a big variety of RNG items that can drop that have really good value. Good luck and have fun, everyone!